And joining me now is CT Group of the US Contingent Managing Director, Larry Grossman. Thanks so much for your time, Larry. Appreciate it. Did you watch this coming in live? How did you view the meeting between Anthony Albanese and Donald Trump finally?
It was on and off TV for a good part of the day, or their meeting today, and I did catch a good bit of it afterwards. How did I view it? I think had to have been seen as a success by um, everyone in the White House, and certainly everyone in the Prime Minister's office. Um, the president certainly lets everyone know exactly what he's thinking at all times, and he certainly let the Prime Minister know exactly what he was thinking about him personally and the relationship with Australia.
Yeah, and it was all good, wasn't it?
It seemed all good. I mean, it's taken a little bit of time to get the two of them together, which people have noticed, but I think it was obviously a meeting that the Prime Minister, in hindsight, would say it's worth waiting for.
Yeah, our political editor, Andrew Clennell, asked him that very question. Why has it taken 9 months to get that meeting? He put to him, the ambassador's comments, climate change policy and the recognition of Palestine. Trump only bit on the ambassador angle of that. What did you make of that whole exchange there?
About Ambassador Rudd?
That's right.
Again,
Yeah.
the president says what he's thinking. Um, Obviously, it was not something which the ambassador or the prime minister would have taken great pleasure in, to have to speak with the president about such things. But again, President Trump is extraordinarily transparent about what's on his mind and what he thinks is the best policy. Mark Twain, or maybe it was Groucho Marx, said it was better to be disparaged than ignored. And so you have to weigh which was a better situation for Ambassador Rudd here.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a couple of things as well when it comes to AUKUS, defence spending. I think everything was addressed, and I think it seems that the US, the White House, Trump more specifically, is pretty happy with how we pull our weight in the world.
Yeah, I think as your last guest just said, Australia certainly is a net contributor to U.S. security and global security in both the region generally, but historically in other places around the world where the U.S. has had a national security interest. So I think you saw that front and center today, is that there is no daylight between what's in the best security interest of the United States and of Australia, and that can be in the form of submarines, or it can be in the form of critical and rare earth minerals.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, looking at the 9-month wait time, we just haven't been a priority. Trump has had other things going on. He didn't have that personal relationship with Anthony Albanese, and quite frankly, he's been trying to solve a couple of world wars as well. So maybe it just comes down to that. We weren't a priority and he doesn't need us yet.
I think, look, again, the United States is very good at speaking with its allies, both formally, like we saw today, or informally when necessary. And so I would imagine there is no lack of communication between Washington and Canberra, and there's no lack of communication between the president and the prime minister in any form it happens to take. Obviously, getting the two of them together is tremendously important. I thought the images today were fantastic for both Australia and the United States, as well as both the president and the prime minister. I think the prime minister said that so much when he made his comment about now having some B-roll for his upcoming campaign commercials.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's going to happen, Larry. I mean, there's a diplomatic sense, but then domestically, I'm not sure that Trump is the trump card for a domestic election. What do you think?
I'll leave Australian politics to you. I can only speak about we've now seen twice in the week prime ministers use the same line about President Trump's very nice comments about them, with both when he was in Jerusalem last week and then now with the prime minister here.
Larry, before I let you go, I mean, there's always going to be challenges going forward. What today's meeting has proven is that we have great people-to-people links. Our alliance is enduring. It doesn't really matter who is in the White House and who is at Parliament House in Canberra. But what are some of the more tricky things that we might have to navigate as two countries, and the two leaders might have to navigate over the next 2.5, 3 years?
I think the thing that keeps popping up with our allies is trade, And while we have a good arrangement on submarines and an absolutely fantastic arrangement with on critical minerals, especially the refining capability that exists in Australia, as your business correspondent mentioned, obviously there are other issues that will come up about tariffs and other matters. Um, but these things will get worked through, especially when you have a good relationship between the president and the prime minister, and obviously the president's team and the prime minister's team. Um, the only thing I think that was missing today, with our Congress being out of session, was the greeting Australia would have had on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, I think you're right. Larry, always good to talk to you. We should do it
Good to
more
see you, Laura.
often. See you soon.